Hey there everyone, it's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I'm doing flower beds, plant beds. No, I'm getting ready to go do bees. That's what I've been doing, working in my beds, getting some mulch down. We use pine straw for mulch. I got some pine straw this morning, fixed up my beds. Hadn't had a chance to do that all year. Usually I do it in the spring, but I didn't get to it. So anyway, it is the 17th of September, and I want to real quickly go through two colonies. I have been loving today where I didn't have to deal with bees. I got everything done yesterday in town, finished up looking at colonies, pulling the strips out, and everything looked good. Everybody had queenless. I got a couple of them that have lopsided nests because, again, they don't like the hop guard at all. They tend to, if they do build anywhere near where the strips were, it's way on the corner, and the rest of them are like way off to the side. So all the nests are on the side, but now the strips are out. I centered a few here last week, but now the strips are out. I expect they'll move back in because the comb was fine except for where they tore it out. Of course, some colonies took it all out, but got them all out. Everybody was queen right. One, like I said, was so lopsided that it had everything over there. It made it look weak, but I don't think it's weak. I think she'll move right into the middle. So everybody's looking good. So enough about the hop guard. I know you guys are sick of hearing about it, and I'm sick of talking about it. That experience is now behind us, and we will move on. It is, again, the 17th of September, and I'm done with colonies for the most part. We'll do some oxalic acid in a month or two, probably 2 months. I'm confident with how the treatments knocked them down and knocked them back enough to where maybe I can really get a good knockdown again. Normally, I do oxalic acid by now and go the whole winter. Usually I do 4 weeks of oxalic acid in the summer after the harvest, and then I go all the way through the next spring. So I figure if I knocked them halfway back and more so in some, and the numbers weren't bad to begin with on some of the colonies, then we should be all right to hit them with oxalic acid in December, maybe 3 times since it's so warm. So done with the bees for the most part, folks. All it is going to be now is checking weights and looking at any of the problem children. And I've only got 3 problem children right now. 3? I had to look at my book, maybe 4. That's pretty good. I do want to talk about the last video. I get a lot of comments regarding the peppermint. And I did try the peppermint. If you look back at some of my videos, I actually tried it and put it in. And it did drive beetles out. I'm going to say it did drive some beetles out, especially one of my heavy infested colonies. It's always been infested. And so it repels them. It doesn't kill them, I don't think. It just repels them, keeps them out. They don't like it. It did work. But I get a lot of people, maybe that didn't see that video and didn't know I tried it, asking me to, you know, hey, maybe you should try the peppermints. And just to get back with y'all on that, it's just not practical for me. If I had 4 or 5 colonies, I could do that each week because you really got to be on top of it. And so that's 8 per box in doubles. 4 or 5 colonies, I'd have no problem doing it. 40 to 50, I just don't have the time to really get in there. So that's why my biggest defense, as I said in the last video, well, not the last one, but the one before maybe, anyway, is letting them maintain their space. And that's going to bring us to what we're going to do today. Let's take a look at that nuke that we condensed and see what they're doing, see if they're maintaining their space. And let's look at that one that was so doggone mean that, and I'll do that one first, that I thought it was queenless. But what I'm gathering from seeing these colonies is the way the combs are set up. I might have just missed where she was laying because of where the hop guard was. So we're going to look at that one again. That's why I didn't combine it yet. I don't want to do any combines until I know for sure that they're queenless. So we're going to go over there, take a look at that. And again, not much going on in the bee yard. It's actually, we're going to start doing all those tedious tasks. Fixing all my handles on my homemade boxes, inventorying equipment, getting an idea, going through the yard, seeing who's got broken and rotten boxes to be replaced, getting an order list together. I'm sure Hive Life is going to have some great specials. I'll be going through Hilco with most of my stuff, probably 90% of it. And we're going to do all the tedious stuff we got to do. I got some old burr comb and all to render. I always talk about saving my burr comb. Let me tell you, I got like 3 bags of burr comb now. That's what I get during the season, so I save it. I'll make a couple nice wax cakes out of it. What else? I think really that's about it, folks. So let's go take a look at these colonies real quick and let's see what they look like. See if we've saved that one that was so small, and see if that other one actually does have a queen or not. So I got the smoker lit and I'm walking out here, and I never finished my statement, which I do that a lot, as you guys might well know. I get off on rabbit trails, but I wrapped up all those colonies yesterday, so what that means for me is I'm pretty much done. And what I was saying earlier was it's nice to not have to go in the bees now and again. When you've been working them all year, I really enjoy being able to finally take a break from them and get the stuff done around my house I need to get done. I've got my yard, my neighbor's yard all cut. I got my beds mulched. I got everything weeded, and you know, it's the things I like to get done. And it's just a nice feeling knowing that, you know, with everybody queen right, all I'm doing is feeling weights and going in any problem children. It's a nice relaxing time. This is a time I like to just walk out in my yard, look at the bees, appreciate all the work they did for me, for all my customers, families, and friends, and just enjoy what they've done and what they are. All the boxes are pretty much heavy. The singles will have to be fed, so it's not like there's a lot to do. So it's always good this time of year to be able to walk out here, enjoy the weather. It's 85 today, and it's not very humid. I mean, it's humid, but not like normal. You can walk out without your glasses fogging up. You can work out in it and not collapse. You can breathe. There's a breeze. So yeah, these are days where it's like, this is true hobby beekeeping here, where you can just relax and kind of do a few things here and there. So that's what we're going to do. I see this colony here appears to be bringing in little amounts of pollen. This is the one we are suspecting might be queenless, but the more I thought about it, it was one of the first ones I looked through, and I was in a hurry and I saw all the area where they didn't touch anything because of the hop guard, so I may have just missed the eggs. Population's good, even though they're mean, and there's no reason to go in there and begin to combine if I don't know for sure they're queenless. And by the time I got done with everything, it was some kind of hot and I was some kind of tired. I'm gonna do this one first because as ornery as they can be, I want to get that over with, or I don't have the whole yard stirred up. Although once I move to the other stands, I'm good. There they are. I'm gonna go nice and easy with them. Not near as many beetles in that opening. That's a heavy frame. Alright, let's get to the middle. Yeah, see, they're starting to cover the frames better where that hop guard was, so that's a good sign. I think once you get that smelly strip, because those strips still smell. My trash can smells horrendous. So they still smell and are pretty repulsive, so I'm thinking while they were in there, they just wouldn't move to the middle, so I'm sure they've moved to the middle. They seem so much better today, too. Oh yeah, I see larvae now. I bet that's what it was. I didn't check the outside frames as good, and I went in the middle. There's baby larvae in here. There's larvae in here that, oh, there's a double larvae. Huh, that's unusual. The rest are singles. I'm looking at 4 and 5, 6 day old larvae. They're calm. Another thing too, that them strips, they did not like those when I put them in. Very well could have been that stirred them up a little bit too. I'm moving nice and slow now, but they seem to be really good. Back filling this with nectar, so there's food coming in. That's good. And this is the top box, and that's what you want. The bottom is loaded. Little queen cup down there. Look, yeah. See, not as many uncapped pupae. I see one here, 2. They look good. I bet they're queen right. With those 3, 4 and 5 day old larvae, maybe 6 day old larvae, they're queen right. I just want to see the middle where the strip was. See, now they're filling that. That's where the strip was, right in the middle from the old video. So right there was where the strip was. That's all built back out and got nectar in it. So once that stuff is out, and once the strip is completely gone, they seem to be fine with it. Okay, see, there's a bunch of uncapped pupae. Now this, somebody asked me about what that meant. And when they're being capped, they don't flip and flop in the cells like that. And what that could mean is, it could mean hygienic bees, which is a good thing, but it's a bad thing if they're opening them up for mites, meaning we still got a lot of mites. But here's one that they wouldn't, oh yeah, they're backfilling these, all these with nectar. So you notice the middle has got honey and they're backfilling with nectar where the strips were, and the outside is where the brood was, and that's what they did with that. They completely abandoned the middle of the colony and went all the way to the outside on both sides. But they're going back to the middle now, and that's what we want. So let's see if the camera will pick up those little baby itty bitty larvae that I'm talking about. It's a GoPro, so it may not. So let's see if it will. I'll do it this way. Some of those are so tiny, they're like 5-day-old larvae. And it's been 7 since we've been in here. So I expect they're queen right. So I know right there's a few eggs. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but we're queen right. The bees seem to be better, and we're gonna put them back together. No reason to get everybody stirred up. Let's go ahead and close this up and go to the Nuke and let's look at it. So as we look, everybody's having a nice day. Not real hot, so there's not any serious bearding. I see pollen coming in. I already walked over to this Nuke and looked, but what I usually do is I walk right up, and the first thing I start doing is looking at these 2 weak colonies. And I look at my Nuke and I say, okay, normal activity. I don't see any wax cappings. Everybody looks happy. They're just kind of hanging out. This colony was a bit weak. Got it kind of shut down. If you're wondering about that excluder, there's a particular board on here that's got shims built into it with a beetle rim from years and years ago when that guy came out with them. So normal introducers won't fit. So I gotta kind of work it all in there. Anyway, everything looks normal. I see pollen coming in, which we knew we had a queen, but we didn't see her when we transferred it. So let's see what we got in there now. We're gonna go see how they are as far as taking care of the space. So first thing we want to look when we open it is how well are they covering the frames. Covering them pretty good. That's what we like to see. And I look for beetles on the lid and I see none. That's first good sign. I had to put this broken frame in here because they only had a few with brood. So they covered each frame well, and that's kind of was our goal. The big thing with this is going to be feed. They're going to have feed, but we'll let them get through the goldenrod flow before we do anything. They have honey now. They're decent weight now. Yeah, they're good and heavy now. So let's see what they got going on in the frames. That honey in the video I was explaining it wasn't that it was just a little bit runny, it wasn't because it was just a little chewed out. Bees will chew out the honey, but not like that, not raggedy, and it won't be wet. When I say wet, it wasn't just those wet looking caps. I'm talking about it was literally wet. There was literally honey on it. That's always a bad sign, at least down here. I don't know where you guys are at, but down here, that is not something you want to see. Come on out of there. So let's see, which I didn't put those back in here. I'm looking for beetles. See, I broke that honey. That was me that did that. So that's not, there's a beetle. I don't see any larvae. There's a second beetle. So they're controlling things fine. And look, they're covering the frames and they're putting in nectar. That's what we wanted. So we may have really dodged a beetle bullet on that one had we had not gotten them out of that 10 frame sooner. There were probably 40-50 beetles on that bottom board. And what I'm seeing here is bees covering frames. Still not super populated though. You know, nothing spectacular about them. They've always been weak. Why are they weak? Were they infested? I don't know. They've been treated like everybody else, so hopefully we've taken care of that. Still nothing spectacular. Still not loaded down with bees, but I'm seeing eggs and milk brood in this one. Yeah, she's got milk brood all in here. So that's good. So we dodged a beetle bullet, I believe. Good thing is I'm not seeing beetles running from between these frame rests. Okay, that's usually these frame rests are loaded with them normally when they're infested, so that's also a positive. Now I was talking about peppermint earlier. Like something like this, I could put peppermint in and keep them out. Maybe I should have. I've got some, but this is loaded with milk brood. Wow, good deal. There's a beetle. There's 2 or 3. There's some right there. So we're still having issues, but they obviously had them corralled. Yeah, see, that's another bad thing. Me opening this up, all I'm doing is breaking them loose. That's another thing with beetles, is they probably have them, this box is so narrow, they got propolis going down the side, and they had beetles in a beetle jail down the side of this. Right down there, there's propolis down the side where they had them built in there. When I pulled this frame, I let those beetles loose. There were about 5 of them. Sometimes I just do more harm opening them when I really don't need to open them. And we don't need to open this now. I don't need to keep going any further, so I broke those loose for nothing. So it's another reason when I don't have to be in my colonies, I'm not in them. And these bees won't see my face for a long time from this point forward. These might later, but I don't know. If they keep acting like this, probably not. Something good that I'm seeing is lots of open brood in a lot of cells, like big patches. So she's trying to build back up. She's putting in winter bees for sure. Let's take this broken frame up. This had brood on it, so I wanted to put it in here even though it was broken. Normally would call this out on a 10 frame, but we were in a situation. I can't believe I've not seen this queen. Guess I don't really need to. I'm doing it for the camera. I'm doing it for the video. I'm doing it for the clicks. I see a beetle or 2 here. She's putting in eggs over here too. Well, there you go, folks. We think we did good with getting them reduced. Well, folks, that's going to be it. I do have a couple more things I'm going to walk around and do out here. Good news. That one definitely did have a queen still. The nuke, I think we did a good thing, folks. I think we did a good thing. And that's what I usually do when I see something weak. I don't like to nurture colonies, but at the same time, that was a good colony. They made honey this year for whatever reason, whether it was a swarm and it was late and it took a while to build up. They had weakened down pretty significantly, and then the hop guard didn't help because they abandoned frames. There was too much space. The beetles got in there, the wax moths got in there a little bit. So I think we gave them a fighting chance. She's got 3 out of 5 frames loaded with milk brood, and most of the cap brood looks like it's either emerged or emerging, and that's good. So didn't see her. I hate it when I can't see a queen in a nuke. I should be able to see her. Anyway, they look healthy, they look good, and I'm very pleased with that. So that was a good move. But it's been a nice day. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna get rolling. I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate all you guys joining me. Remember, I'm out here doing my vlog, just showing you what's going on in my season, and right now the season is about wound down for old Barry's Best Honey. About wound down. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you don't mind, of course. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I did bees today. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and may the Lord God bless you. We'll see y'all later.